Namaskar. We are covering the most important questions that might be asked in upcoming UPSC PT examination 2020. And in this series, today we will discuss about the Suez Canal, and this place is significant for civil service aspirants. The type of question that might be asked are: Number 1. Suez Canal is part of A. Mediterranean Sea, B. Baltic Sea, C. Red Sea, D. Persian Sea. Second, the boat recently blocked the Suez Canal was A. St. Helena, B. Ever Given, C. Hong Kong cargo ship, D. None of the above. Third could be Suez Canal connects A. Caspian Sea and Mediterranean Sea, B. Mediterranean Sea and Baltic Sea, C. Indian Ocean and Mediterranean Ocean, and D. Mediterranean Sea and Atlantic Ocean. 4 could be: which of the following statement is not correct about Suez Canal? A. It was dug by Pharaoh Senusret III of Egypt in the year 1868. B. It is of 193 km long and does not have any locks. C. It is a natural canal. D. It is the shortest sea link between Asia and Europe since 1869. E. The northern terminus is Port Said. Let's go through this topic and we will be finding answer to all the above questions. So let's starting with, in this you can see that a large cargo ship, this is a large cargo ship named as Ever Given, has recently blocked the Suez Canal, and it was headed for China to Netherlands and had run around the Gottenstrack across the canal for a week. The people are supposing that the reason is strong wind, and some are saying that the technical reasons were involved into that. The cargo ship was weight 2.2 lakhs tons, 400 meter long and 59 meter wide, with nearly 18,300 containers, had blocked the path of 400 plus ships into the Suez Canal, and it became a sensation over the internet overnight. Why is in the news? But before that, let's have a look of this video that how exactly the big Ever Given was blocked in the Suez Canal. This is the video, and you can see that the small tugboats are in the rescue of the Ever Given, and the small tugboats are using tidal forces to free the vessels and succeed after 6 days of blocking the vital trade route. So this huge boat was being stuck in the Suez Canal recently, and it was a huge economic loss for all of the other ships and the countries which were being struck by this Ever Given. So it was in the news because in March 2021, a container ship called the Ever Given blocked the Suez Canal in Egypt. The authority of the Suez Canal lies with Egypt. Now moving towards the main section, the geographical location of the Suez Canal. In our earlier video, we have discussed about the Red Sea. In the Red Sea, the upper north corner, this is the Gulf of Suez, and in the Gulf of Suez, this is the location of the Suez Canal. So Suez Canal connects in the North Mediterranean Sea and in the South Red Sea, and thus it gives an access to Indian Ocean and in the Asian countries. Here in this image, it's very clearly mentioned that this is the route of the Suez Canal, and this is Mediterranean Sea, this is Indian Ocean, this is Red Sea, and this is Suez Canal. So hope now you will be very clear with the geographical location of Suez Canal. Imagine a canal that connects Asia and Europe. Nearly it saves a journey of 7,000 kilometers distance, and this is a real image of some of the containers which are entering into Suez Canal. Moving towards the history of the Suez Canal, the Pharaoh Senusret III dug for the first time this canal between the 1849 and 1887 BC in Egypt. Finally built between 1859 to 1869 with 1.5 million workers in Ottoman-ruled Egypt, and all these years, the making of these years takes nearly 10 years, and it was blocked just in one day. Imagine about the situation. After two world wars, the Britain relinquished this canal to Egypt in 1956, and it has been closed 5 times in the past. After the Abdel Nasser government nationalized in 1956, in the same year when the Britain relinquished this canal authority to the Egypt's government, and after 8 years in 1967, Arab-Israel's war happened in this area. So this is the Suez Canal and the crisis 2021 in a brief. It took 10 years to build in mid 1800s, and one mega ship blocked it in one day in March 2021, and it makes a spill into the global trade in this area. The total length is 193 km, and mark it is an artificial canal. It is not a natural canal like Panama and others. Shortest sea link between Asia and Europe since 1869. Longest canal with no locks. Usually that's a difference. In Panama Canal in the Southern America, they operate due to the lock system. There are the lock to raise the water table along the entire canal area, but in the Suez Canal it's operate naturally by the tidal waves. There is no artificial locks in this canal. One of the busiest trade route, a flashpoint for geopolitical conflict. So these are the brief history of Suez Canal. There are some interesting facts. These are the facts mainly for memorization, but still important for the point of view that this can be asked with the other relevant facts in the question. So in year 6089, waterways first opened. In 2015, canal expanded to include a 22 miles parallel channel. 120 miles it is long, and it is nearly 205 meter wide and 24 meter deep. So this is factual information about Suez Canal. These are the importance of the Suez Canal, that this is a human-made waterway. Mind it is not natural, it is artificial or human-made waterways. The Suez Canal is one of the world's most heavily used shipping land, carrying over 12% of the world trade by volume. The Suez Canal is an artificial sea level waterways in Egypt. It is operated with the help of sea level, not by any artificial gate, connecting the Mediterranean Sea and the Red Sea. Opened in year 1869, it allows ships to travel between Europe and Southern Asia without navigating around the Africa. In this map, you can see that prior to Suez Canal, any ship which is coming from Asia or the Southern Asia has to go all together to reach Europe via this route after crossing the entire continent of Africa. But after the opening of the Suez Canal, the distance was saved, and it took only 7,200 miles as of now to go from Asia to Europe, thereby reducing the sea voyage distance between Europe and India as well by 7,000 kilometers as of now it stands. When built, the canal was of 164 kilometer long and 8 meter deep. But after several enlargements, it is finally 93.3 kilometers long and 24 meter deep and 205 meters wide. The canal is a single lane passing. Mind it doesn't have double lane passing. It's a single lane passing through the Great Bitter Lake, Little Bitter Lake, and Lake Timasha and Manzala. So there are some lakes which are along the lane of the Suez Canal, and these are the names of the lake: Great Bitter Lake, Little Bitter Lake, Timsa, and the Manzala. Maybe in the exams the question can be framed as which of the following lakes are associated with Suez Canal, and these names can be there: the Great Bitter Lake, Little Bitter Lake, Lake Timsa, and Manzala. So this information is important for your location. A new stretch of the canal was opened in 2015 that allowed passageways for the super tankers. Earlier, they were not allowed for the super tankers prior to 2015. The northern terminus of the Suez Canal is Port Said. So, Port Said is situated on the northern tip of the Suez Canal, where there are two outlets to the sea. The southern terminal is the Port Tawfiq, and another terminal is Port Said. at the city of the Suez, while Ismailia is on its west bank. So these are the other locations like Ismailia, Port Twifliq and the Port Said can be asked in examination in relation to Suez Canal. Here in this map, you can clearly see the locations of those areas. Like this is the Gulf of Suez, and on the tip of Gulf of Suez, this is Twifliq. So this is the location of Twifliq. This is location of Suez. This is the Suez Canal, and this lake is the Little Bitter Lake, and this the big one is the Great Bitter Lake. Followed, this is again the Suez Canal, and this is another lake, and on the bank of this lake there is Ismailia situated, and then here it is going towards the north. This is the location of the Port Said, and this is the location of final destination for the Suez Canal, the Mediterranean Sea. So all these lakes along with these cities like the Ismailia, the Twifliq, Little Bitter Lake, Great Bitter Lake are become very important for the purpose of mapping. How did the ever given get struck into the Suez Canal? So that morning there were dust storms, and that were creating high winds and the low visibility, limited visibility for the boat in the ever given in the Suez Canal. So dust storm, high wind and low visibility was one of the primarily cause. It carried sideways into a sandy embankment. It means that all the sands due to the dust storm and high winds move towards the bank of the Suez Canal that can hinder the movement of the Ever Given in those area. The Ever Given's unscheduled and unfortunate landing in the canal may have been hastened by a hydraulic phenomena in this canal itself. It is unique to vessels transiting through shallow water, and it is called a banked effect. The incident began when strong winds in the region kicked up the sand along the banks. The narrower waterways and the poor visibility resulted in the crew losing control of the ship. If you remember your lesson on the buoyancy, you know that a ship displays its own weight in water. That means for every pound of the steel and the cargo on board, a pound of water below the ship has to get out of the way. For the Ever Given, that is hundreds of thousands of tons of liquids being pushed outward on either side of the ship as it cuts through the water in the Suez Canal. On the open sea, that is not a problem. The displacement forms a wake, mainly in a form of wave, but the water does not have trouble finding a new area to go. But the situation in a shallow canal, things are a lot different. All the water displaced by a ship has to essentially squeeze through a small area along the sides and the bottom of the vessel. The smaller the area, the faster the water has to move to get out of the way. The water builds up at the bow or front of the ship. As the water accelerates through the narrow gaps on either side, its level drops. This is a well-known phenomena that creates some unusual effect on the ship. In accordance with the Bernoulli's law, there is one process which is known as squatting, and it says that a fluid pressure goes down when its speed goes up. When traveling in a shallow area, the squeezed and the speeder flow below the hull creates a suction force, pulling the ship further into the water. A phenomena known as squatting. In this map, you can say that since this is the suction force and then it is pulling up and it helps the boat to move ahead in the open sea. But in the shallow water, this phenomena usually is not happen the way it happens in the open sea. The massive ships ever use this effect by speeding up as it went under the Great Belt Bridge in the Denmark to create some extra margin above the deck. But this is not possible in any water which is shallow in nature. But the exact same effect can happen on the side of the ship as well. If a vessel gets too close to the bank of a shallow canal, mind it, a shallow canal, the water it displays on that side essentially has nowhere to go. and it has to pick up speed. It will pick up speed as it squishes through the narrow gap, lowering the pressure. The pressure will be low and thus pulls the ship towards the bank, and then the entire ship will be blocked nearby the bank, and this is known as the bank effect. Exactly this was the process that happens to the Ever Given. In reality, the bank effect is not that well understood. Research is going on to better characterize how depth, distance, speed, propeller action and other factors can affect the way a ship moves in a restricted water and a shallow water. Still, we have a lot to learn both in an academic sense and in the nautical practices. A fact made clear when this massive vessel found the edge of the Suez Canal. So how exactly did it impact the global trade? Suez Canal is a lifeline of global trade. The canal continues to be the lifeline for all trades between the West and the East, as 12% of the global trade passes through it every year. So it is an annual rate. The value of the goods shipped through the canal is estimated to be $9.5 billion daily, and the canal generates a major share of the revenue for the Egyptian government. It is one of the global choke points. The Suez, along with the Panama Canal, that links the Pacific and the Atlantic Ocean. So Panama Canal links the Pacific and Atlantic Ocean, whereas the Suez Canal links the Mediterranean and Indian Ocean, are the two most critical canals in the globe maritime domain, along with the Volga, Don and the Grand Canals of China. In this pie diagram, we can clearly understand the impact on global trade. Out of 12% global trade, this 12% global trades occurs through the route of Suez Canal. So this is another important. 7% of the world oil trade happens through this route, and 30% container ship daily traffic passes through this. So this is a major important factor of the global economy that Suez Canal plays a role in. Could have cost trade 6 to 10 billion a week. Price rise of crude oil, goods, coffee, toilet paper, laptop, etc. being impacted if the routes will be closed, and semiconductor shortage will happen if this route will be closed. So this is the importance of Suez Canal for the international trade. Now we'll come back to the session of the answer in which we have posed the question at the beginning. So moving to our answer of the first question, number 1, Suez Canal is a part of, answer will be C, Red Sea. Second, the boat recently blocked the Suez Canal was, answer will be B, Ever Given. Question number 3, Suez Canal connects, answer will be C, Indian Ocean and Mediterranean Ocean. Question number 4, which of the following statement is not correct about Suez Canal? Answer will be C, it is a natural canal. This will be wrong. Answer C is wrong because the Suez Canal is an artificial canal. So hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you. We will be taking up another current topics of the presence of Chinese in southern Asian countries and in Indian Ocean in our next video. See you there. Subscribe Ensemble Ias YouTube channel for your civil service preparation, and apart from that, do interact with us if you wanted to discuss about these questions. Locate Suez Canal along with the major lakes and city that it contains. Write short notes on the importance of the Suez Canal. Do you agree that the bank dynamic and location of canals determine the navigation pattern? Explain with recent phenomena of Ever Given ship. What is major difference between navigation system of Panama Canal and Suez Canal? Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you. Stay connected with us. Namaskar.
To have more such discussions and analysis, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for notifications on our upcoming videos.